Guys, it is Jenny Watson. I am going to be walking into the farmer's market right now. I have my list and I'm going to do my shopping. So a lot of you have asked me exactly what I do when I get my shopping done, and this is the best way to get the cheapest produce out there. I'm going to go to my, let you guys know what my go-to fruits and vegetables are and what I typically pick up from here to help you with meal prep, okay? So you'll be catching me along the ride. Okay, I'm gonna look really silly, but I want to show you guys exactly what I'm looking at. There is a ton of rice here. Brown rice is one of my go-tos. It's easy to make 2-4 cups of it in my rice cooker and have it ready to go. So jasmine brown rice is what I'm gonna go with today. It is $4.99 for 5 pounds. You cannot beat that. That's first on the list. Done. One of the other things I love about the farmer's market is the nuts. And that sounds funny, but we're going to get a lot of raw, unsalted nuts. Roasted is fine, but unsalted is best. So I like to pick up almonds, I like to pick up cashews, and I like to pick up pumpkin seeds to make a couple of the different dressings that I do. So I'm definitely going to pick up pumpkin seeds today, and some almonds, and some probably some pine nuts too, because I have some fresh basil at home and I can make basil pesto. So fun stuff you can find here. Look for the nuts that you really like. Look for seeds. Remember, these are your blues. Sometimes your blues. Most I. One of the other things that I love about the farmer's market, and if you look behind me, you'll see that there's a lot of gluten-free varieties. You can see that there are gluten-free Bob's Red Mill. You can see that there's different millets, chia, different flours, and different starches to use for baking, and a lot of these are gluten-free, so these are great for gluten-free lifestyle. Okay, next up for me is some of the bulk flours that you'll see. There's different kernels and millets in bulk. You can also see that if you need cornstarch, you can get cornstarch in bulk. This is $1.86. You can't beat prices like this. Also are going to have a lot of the natural flavorings and dyes and stuff like that. When we're clean eating, we stay away from the dyes. However, we do like pure vanilla extract, which you can buy here, and any other extracts that you can buy for a relatively low cost. The other thing that I like to do here is buy beans and soak them. So instead of buying beans in the can, I can buy a big thing of black beans for $1.99, a bag of them, and I can soak them overnight and get the same effect as if I were to use a can. So when I make my chilies and stuff, I usually use whole beans and I soak them ahead of time instead of getting what's been preserved in a can. Next up is the bulk spices. You can see that the spices are labeled. I actually have a lot of spices that I need to get today, so I'm gonna kind of look through them. Pumpkin pie spice is great for this time of year because it is the fall, so I'm definitely gonna pick some of that up. I also like to pick up things like cayenne pepper, and I like to pick up crushed red peppers. So you can see these are the types of things that you can pick up. There is just a little bit of everything here. Gosh, you can even get bulk large things of ginger, black pepper, thyme leaves, dill, tarragon, everything. So definitely check out the spice aisle. I definitely need parsley. Probably going to get 2 bags of it because I use a lot of it. And keep an eye out for the spices in bulk. Alright guys, next up on the list is my greens. I like to get a lot of spinach. I make spinach salads for lunch every day. So I'm definitely going to pick up at least 2 bags of spinach since we're making lunches for 3 people. I also want to pick up some romaine hearts because they go really well. I'm going to pick up some asparagus and some broccoli too. So all of that's on the list. Actually, I just looked at the asparagus and it's a little thin. I like it a little bit thicker than this. This isn't even as big as one of my fingers, so I'm going to scrap the asparagus and double up on my broccoli. I am definitely on the lookout for some really good fruits. So I love apples. I'm going to do some Honeycrisp apples this week, maybe a couple Gala apples too. But it looks like they're like 99 cents a pound, so you can't go wrong with some nice, big, juicy apples. I typically like to go to the orchard this time of year if I can. However, if you get me a couple really good ones, I'll take it. Alright, next up is going to be some cauliflower. These are huge heads of cauliflower, so I'm definitely going to do the big ones. Even though they're $4 each, they're really large, so I'm going to do that. Also have some mushrooms that I'm going to use for some cooking this week. I like to get the mushrooms that are a little bit white still. If they're whole like this, they're going to be dirty. The weird thing about mushrooms is when you go to clean them, it's not going to be as easy to store them after you've cleaned them. So pick out a couple, clean them, wrap them back up tightly, and then go again as far as when you go to cut them. Yeah. Normally I like to get grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes for salads, but I'm going to pick up a couple regular like steak tomatoes, what you call them. They're not really that ripe this time of year right now. So I'm only going to pick up like 3 or 4. But they can be used for turkey burgers and stuff too, and I know that we like the tomatoes on our turkey burgers. So I am going to pick up a couple of these tomatoes, pretty good size. One of my absolute favorite little treats is guacamole. This is a new obsession for me. And one of my coworkers, Jose, actually told me how to make a really good recipe for guacamole. So I've been trying to pick up a few jalapenos every time I go to the store. That way I have a couple extra on hand in case I want to throw any together and throw together a quick guacamole as well. So it's working really well. I love guacamole. When you're making guacamole, you cannot forget the cilantro. It is one of the most important ingredients that a lot of people forget about. That's where a lot of the flavor comes from. The bunches right now are huge, and they are 3 for $1. So I'm going to grab 3 bunches for $1, and I'm going to try to get through it and make a really big batch this week. I'm not lazy, I'm efficient. I buy baby carrots. 99 cents a bag. Why worry about anything else when you can get them already peeled, cut, small enough to eat, and if you want to chop them in salads, it's easy to do that too. So 3 or 4 bags of baby carrots. Another really important ingredient to the guacamole is going to be limes. So limes are 7 for $1. It's okay for me to get 7 of them because I will use them for other things. Yes, maybe skinny cocktails, although not this month. However, it's a great little additive for some extra flavoring for your water too. So buy extra limes. Gotta buy onions in bulk. 3-pound bag of onions for $1.49. You can get a 10-pound bag for $5.99. I might get in trouble for having that many onions in the house. Corey hates onions, but I cook with him a lot. He doesn't know it, or maybe he does, but he just gets over it. Okay, I have the majority of this stuff on my list. I actually have one of every color of bell pepper right now. The only thing that I'm really missing from the list is avocados, and they're at the front of the store. The front of the store was jam-packed though when I was up there, so I was going to avoid it at all possible costs, especially carrying around a selfie stick filming myself. So that ought to be entertaining at least. Next up is going to be bananas, milk, and eggs, and they're all over in the other section here of the farmer's market. Bananas here are 25 cents a pound. I buy some ripe, I buy some unripened, and I buy a lot of them. All right, milk and eggs. We've got 18 eggs here for $2.69, which is a little pricey, but then again, we've got the bird flu thing going on still, so there's some residual effects of that. But make sure you open the eggs and make sure none of them are cracked for the ones that you're going to buy. In the farmer's market, they actually have a sign that says, "Don't exchange the eggs. It's considered stealing." Hilarious. Salmon fillets. They have some gigantic salmon fillets here for $8.99 a pound. These actually go really well in our household, so we're gonna grab. I'm gonna grab a really big one. This is 3 1/4 pounds worth of salmon, which is lots. So it'll feed us for a few days. One of the other things that I love about the farmer's market here is there's a whole bunch of different stuff that you're not used to seeing. I'm just grabbing celery and zucchini, but I mean, there's Taiwanese spinach, callaloo leaves, oriental spinach. There's all this stuff that I've never cooked with, and I have no idea what any of it is. But if I ever found a recipe, this is where I'd come to get it because it's here. This week I'm splurging a little on blackberries. $2.49 a pound is kind of expensive, but I'm going to get them because I'm going to make a really awesome blackberry vinaigrette, just like you would think of as a raspberry vinaigrette, but I'm substituting blackberry. So I'm over at the avocados now, and the nice thing about the avocados that are here this week is they're already kind of ripe. They're 89 cents each. Usually a batch of 4 gets me for one recipe of guacamole, so I'm going to pick up about 6.